She's a riveted still.
There she is. There she is.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch in Infinite Combinations, number 188, where we're exploring all of the Twilight Zone. Today, we're taking a closer look at the first, or what is it? the fourth season 4 episode, He's Alive. And boy, is he ever. We are continuing the hour-long season 4 episodes. And so we're continuing to explore what's going on with this fourth season. And he's alive. Yeah. So how are you guys doing today?
Well, when I first saw the title, I thought it was going to be Elvis that was going to still be alive.
That would be much more fun.
Well, at the time of
Elvis.
At the time of production, Elvis was alive.
It was
so
no
I guess.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, we've got to make a new Twilight Zone episode called He's Alive, where it's all about Elvis, or pick your favorite dead Beatles
Oh,
person.
McCartney, he's alive? What?
Yeah, it's shady. We don't know. We might be on our second Paul McCartney.
Any choice would be better than this. Or it could also be a reference to Frankenstein's monster, but
Yeah.
even Frankenstein's monster is way more sympathetic. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, when he killed somebody, it was like it was sort of an accident.
He didn't ask to have Abby Normal's brain put into his head.
Yeah, it's true. That's an actual science fiction tale about not playing God. Whatever. But and electricity bringing you back to life because it's a long time ago and they thought you could do that. Well, anyway, hello to Gavin Blackburn.
Hey, Gav.
Gavin.
I think he didn't have first, but now he has first because the chat erased. So good work. And hello to Christian Pandem Geek. Always good
Hello.
to see you. Here is his channel. Who else do we have here today? We've also got Alexandria. Hello.
Hey.
All the way from
Scotty.
Virginia.
Yeah, Scotty's here.
Or
Woo.
Egypt.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've joined you for the Twilight Zone, and I was curious because I wanted to see Dennis Hopper, and then I found out what the subject matter was going to be, and so we are kind of having a science experiment to see whether or not we get booted for saying certain things. But be prepared because I think it's gonna be a fun time, and yeah.
Fun? Okay. I don't want to promise
Fun.
fun. Not for this one. I'm not promising any damn fun. Okay, but however, we did do Patterns of Force and we did not get taken down for that. Although you were only here for like 15 minutes because you had to leave to go do something.
That makes sense. Sounds like me.
Gavin
But
Blackburn.
a lot of people get sensitive about the subject matter, and I know that a lot of people use euphemisms, but we're going to be talking about Dolph.
The producers had fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
He said it.
Oh, there's number one. James Caserta. Hi.
Hey, Jim.
You're not supposed to say Jehovah.
Well, so, He's Alive first aired on January 24th, 1963. It was written by Rod Serling and directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who would later go on to direct Dennis Hopper in the film Cool Hand Luke from
Nice.
1967. Yeah, that's a fact. And so we still got Herbert Hirschman as a producer and George Clemens as the director of photography. I only mentioned those because they change every now and then. And so we've got a lot of actors here. I don't know how much information we have on everybody, but of course, Dennis Hopper plays Peter Vollmer. Ludwig Donath plays Ernst Gans, his father's substitute. And Adolf Hitler, spoilers, is played by Kurt Conway. Frank is played by Paul Mazursky. I don't think it's much of a spoiler. I think you figure it out within the first 50 minutes.
Well,
You have to wait 30 minutes for it to be
I don't know because it sounded like he had a Cuban accent for a bit.
Oh, did you think it was going to be Fidel Castro?
No, I didn't think so, but I'm like, man, these accents. It wasn't just him.
Of course, they were sort of anti-communist, even though socialism is communism too.
Well,
that's kind of confusing.
And also the way it's labeled today, they try to distance communism from its roots, as well as it's like there's one preferred bad guy and the others aren't that bad. And it's like, well, no. That's the 8 million Jews that Stalin wiped out.
Yeah, you can't do that. It doesn't work out. Anyway, Frank is played by Paul Mazursky, Nick by Howard Kane, Stanley by Barnaby Hale. The heckler is in the episode is played by Bernard Fine. I like him. Gibbons is played by Jay Adler, and the proprietor, I guess the hall owner, the guy who owns the hall, is played by Wolf Brazel. And I only say that now just in case we don't mention him later. It's nearly 100 degrees outside.
Now?
In the episode.
Oh, okay. Thank heavens. I was going to say, climate change.
Okay, there we go. We got the slides over here. Also looking for
love the intro.
I do love the intro. You can...
The economy is our world. Now.
So that's why everybody's sweating buckets, because it's so hot. Look at that. It's 98 degrees, looks like, right? Nearly 100. And that kitty is as lighthearted as this episode gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even that kitty scene, you can start hearing the hate speech that starts, because we've got Peter.
You got to listen a little bit before you can tell. Otherwise, it just sounds like speech.
Yeah.
And one thing that threw me off is because he started in with the international banking cartel and then went to what's behind it and proceeded to Palestine, which was an odd choice for an international banking cartel, and then Africa, meaning the continent of Africa. I don't know many people who have accused Africa of being behind the international banking cartel.
Well, this is the American neo-Nazi group, Lawrence. They've got a new set of enemies. They've got to be different.
Well, that's what I mean. It sounds like, okay, we got to sound like National Socialist Workers Party. We need to sound like these guys. So let's just mix it all up. And it's just like, but wait a minute. It's not making much sense now, because I know it doesn't make sense, this party to begin with, but the mixture of things just didn't follow as much of a linear thing.
Yeah, and then every time he says it, they cut to somebody to represent that group, and it's just this lady just sitting here, and some kids trying to get ice cream in the background. They don't need to be exposed to this.
No, well, I mean, I know what they're trying to represent. I just meant if you took the speech itself, it's like, wow,
Well, it's a matter of vilification, and if you can easily identify your villains based on the color
Yeah,
of
but
their
I
skin.
think even the dumbest neo-Nazi
Nazi.
or whatever, even the
Oh,
dumbest one
he's
is not going to say, okay, Africa's behind this whole international banking cartel. It's like, what?
well, they've come a long way,
You
Lawrence.
know, that National Bank of Cameroon really is doing some.
Yeah, but like
It's like,
South Africa
hello?
and the diamonds and whatnot, conflict diamonds.
Oh,
Oh,
the
That's
right. Yeah,
double
but
James
that's
diamonds.
Bond.
There you go.
beers. And remember, they're Europeans.
Oh, that's yes, they're Dutch, aren't they? Well, that's
Yeah,
but
I
South
can
Africa is a Dutch
understand.
colony, wasn't it?
Now, you're not often going to get one of these neo-Nazis talking about,
I like that.
you know, how Africa has been used by the international banking cartel. It's not their gig, but, you know,
Right, and how the
that,
water's
yeah,
been stolen and stuff
yeah,
like that.
right. But anyway,
But
I
I
was
could
just
tell
saying it
you
was a
why.
bit
I could
odd.
tell you why there was also a push to have more African Americans in the episodes, and that's why there are two in this one. Neither of them speak though.
Their loyalties first, foremost, and primarily deal with money.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute my screen.
Right. I just wanted there was a little bit of an echo.
They'll be sitting
yeah.
right there on your doorstep.
If anybody's sitting on your doorstep, buddy, he's a man in a white coat. You better just go with him quietly.
See, and it's interesting. And because we're going to be getting into some heady topics and whatnot, I do find, because again, we're going to be talking about sensitive words and subjects and whatnot. But what I admire most about free speech is the fact that the people who are spouting the craziest stuff should be able to say it loudest possible, just so you can say, there he is. And you don't have to do anything about it. It's
Exactly.
just being able to identify, and again,
Right.
the marketplace of free ideas. The best are going to rise and the worst are going to fall away. And so you have to be able to say what you want to say so that other people can be like either on board or not on board. And
I
finding
agree with you, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so long as it's not calls to action, that's where the line.
Well, exactly.
Gets
Because that's a
drawn.
crime. That's
Yeah.
a crime.
Right.
Well,
is it-
they
No,
can
but
define just about anything in a crime, but calls to action is where ideas turn into, okay, now you're trying to motivate people to take, you know, where they would actually be responsible for their own actions in stuff that's, shall we say, dubious. At best.
if it's not
Yes.
an incitement to violence, it is helpful to allow the bigots to out themselves so you
Yeah.
can know to stay away from them and not give them your business or whatever it is may be.
Yeah, otherwise
Right.
forcing him to hide it, it's like, great. Now you don't know. You can't make those choices.
You know,
And
yeah,
hello
going
to Sinister.
Hey,
in
what's
the
up,
chat.
Sinister? But yeah, if you don't forget, you know, if something is under pressure, it can explode. But if it can just sit there and spout, then you know where it is. You have an availability to respond to it accordingly. But if someone is just underground and seething, then that's when you end up in a clock tower with a high-powered rifle.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to tell when it's about to become violent and to stop it then. So he's just ranting more ignorant stuff about taking daughters and things. And, they're going to take your daughters and the country's being sold out. And all this earns him a tomato.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be right on top of that list. Right on the top.
I see
I-
they had Rotten Tomatoes back then too.
Actually, I've never seen it on a show before. Actual Rotten Tomatoes being thrown. It's
What is
usually in
it?
cartoons.
Well, in Batman Returns, when Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, is giving his speech, and he's like, "Why does everybody always bring tomatoes and cabbages to a speech?"
Cabbages too. Yeah,
they're
why
throwing
don't they
cabbages.
why don't they bring some fish?
Yeah, and what about
That's what you
melons?
would prefer.
Throw melons.
It's just that music is way too fun and exciting for that particular scene. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
waiting to see Benji running through a pasture.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Timmy's in the well. Ba, 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 ba.
Mhm.
Well, and some of the music here, yeah, is from from World War II music a little bit, but I can't identify Leningrad Symphony, but it's somewhere supposedly in this
Oh.
score.
No Wagner. We get no Flight of the Valkyries. Wagner
That
was
wasn't Wagner's fault.
No, I know exactly. It's
Nor Bruckner.
well, but that's also
You know what you're going to
that's
see
one
when
of
you get
the-
home and look in the mirror tonight?
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. What's up?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's one of those
No,
things where
it's just
like
these the original Third Reich, as they're called, did implement musical selections that actually had those composers that were already dead blacklisted in many concert halls and stuff for a long time. And it's like the composers didn't choose to have their music used. You know,
oh,
they
I
were
think yeah,
dead.
the Third Reich was notorious for its effective use of propaganda to sort of radicalize, and yeah, so
Yeah, Leonard Bernstein, in fact, advocated for getting Anton Bruckner's music heard more because it was such great music, and it helped to have a Jewish advocate for his music.
what
You know what
see,
you're going to
and
see when you get home and look in the mirror tonight? A scrawny little kook with a big mouth.
which I think is an interesting first seed that is planted in the story of Peter, is that he is basically just he's been put upon, and his reactions in this way and his subscription to this ideology is based on the fact that he's just a frightened, weak-willed man who has to exert his power, and he thinks that he's trying to help, and he does go on to say, and later on, and but he's just gone about it. He wants to be respected, and he wants it to come from the heel of his boot.
Yeah, he's really pathetic on the inside, although he exerts power on the outside.
Yeah. And it is terrifying.
The cops are about to arrive to see if they can arrest whoever caused this, but they don't know who. He didn't get any names, so he just said the commies did it. Which one?
Yeah,
Commies.
I was like,
That's what
oh,
I say.
man.
Who had the last chicken nugget? It was the commies.
Kind of slaps this officer's hand away, which is like
Rude.
that is really, really rude. Yeah,
Unless he was trying to feel you up. But
I
don't
mean,
think so.
isn't that there's got to be a law against that.
Well, technically that would be assault. If you wanted to be a jerk about it, it's kind of like when Cisco gets ejected from the baseball game because he pokes Odo. It's like as soon as you
Exactly.
make physical contact, you have technically committed assault.
I see you know your judo well.
Yeah. But I do
Get your
like this.
hands
And again,
off
I
my-
think this speaks to that sort of idea of the free speech, is the cops are there because Peter has been assaulted. But the thing is, we're going to enforce the law, but it's not like we like you. You're technically
your flag.
And this I find interesting just in terms of the production, is that they obviously stayed away. They do have iconography. Obviously, they have pictures of Dolph and Heinrich and, your usual Luftwaffes. But they don't use the swastika.
They were instructed
Well-
specifically to not use it.
Well, here's the thing also. That is a storied fascist emblem, though. The torch symbolism has
Oh,
been
really?
used a
Okay.
lot, as well as for other things, but definitely also in fascism. So they at least picked something that had relevance. Well, it wasn't until this regime that the reversed swastika was used, because it used to be facing the other way, like the 2-2 pattern, which was actually more of a
Isn't it
good
a Hindu?
positive symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a Hindu
And
message
How
for
we
they
used to
just
be
peace.
reversed the
religious.
direction, so it's not like 2-2, it's SS now
Right.
in that version. And so it was an inversion, a bastardization of a good symbol. But then that's what evil does. Evil does not create, it only corrupts.
Yeah, destroys. And Frank tells the officer, one day you'll crawl on your belly to salute the flag you just dropped. And the officer says,
Let me know the date, Jack. That morning I'll cut my wrists.
Oh, wow.
right?
Hey, QT, CAS,
That's
TTV.
Mad. That's
Is that
Madman.
QCast?
Hi. Just stopping in to say hi as I prep for my live stream. This one is not a bright and lively live stream. It is a kind of a dark one.
Cheerful one.
Nazi.
Whoop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Here,
I'm
maybe we need a kitty too.
The economy of our world. Now.
Because of the Irish conglomerate. What? All right.
So now we find Nick. He's hiding under the stairs. He has run away from the brawl right around when it started, although he said, "Oh, did you see it? I had 10 guys on top of me." He did not.
No, but again, we are painting these people as cowards.
There.
You get a mean crowd, Pete. You get a hot night, you get a mean crowd. I told you guys that.
The mean crowd.
Yeah. And leave it to the people spouting ridiculousness to be like, oh, they're being mean to us. They're mean.
Yeah, I could see Adolphus after one of those speeches just being like, that was a tough crowd.
I just can't seem to get through to them.
Yeah.
That's what Peter's saying.
Well, and that's the thing is that another one of the things, there's going to be a lot of that's the thing that I say today is no one's the villain in their own story. These guys think that they're actually, trying to protect people from the invaders and the people who will subvert the ideals of a society, when in factual, they're
Yeah, they don't
roiling
realize
with hate.
they definitely don't see what they're saying as hate speech, even though it is.
No.
And
It's protecting as far as they're concerned, and they're vilifying. And that was one of the ways. Hey, best way to consider yourself a hero is to create a villain for yourself.
Mhm. But yeah, definitely. Just like Ducat thought he was doing the best for the Bajorans.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad you brought up Gul Dukat, because I watched that thing recently, and it was like, absolutely, I should have killed them all. I would have made Bajor into a cinder that the galaxy had never seen. And Cisco says it, and it was like, that is why you're not an evil man. It's just, yeah. Gul Dukat is one of the best villains ever.
He is. So, Lawrence, tell me how the Torch is part of fascism or that kind of way of thinking. Because I thought of the Statue of Liberty's torch, and I was like, that's weird. That's a symbol of patriotism and the acceptance of immigrants, which is not what these discount.
Who you ask.
It's not what these discount Nazis tolerate.
I mean, we can't think of the torch symbol itself as just one thing. It's just torches were used in some of the symbolism for fascist groups, not specifically Nazi, but fascist groups. And it doesn't mean that other groups didn't also use a torch. I mean, it's a common, if you think of it, a symbol, because it gets lit, it means like lighting the way, illumination. Well, then some people go in the direction of the Illuminati, and then also some people go in the direction of, the light bringer, Lucifer. You can go down all sorts of rabbit holes with the torch, but it really
Oh,
depends on
and
the
okay.
intentions of the person who uses it. And so there's a lot about the Statue of Liberty. You can go endlessly about that. I mean, I just, I sift through this stuff and I pretty much just, go along with, I'm not go along, but I pretty much accept those things that I've researched and have proven themselves and not with others. But this isn't the time or place to really talk about that. But simply put, yes, the torch has been used in fascist symbolism, but it's not the only way. There's another symbol, the called the fasci, which is basically bundled wood. And, but that was also a symbol basically mentioned, I think it was by Genghis Khan's grandmother or somebody, or his mother, who mentioned to him about strengthening the Mongol tribes by uniting them together, like bundling reeds together, which would make them stronger than they were separate. And there's a Simpsons episode about that uses a different F word in combination with the bundled wood.
Yeah, I can
So I think
But
understand.
is
I
it
get, I
that?
could see where is that the origin of that word? I wonder.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that is. That is what,
Okay,
British
but
cigarettes. Yeah.
if we walk back though to what you were saying about the devil, and that's a big Twilight Zone thing, so it would make sense if it came from something like that.
Yeah, it probably maybe they were knowledgeable of some of the dark occult things going on, but one symbol can be used in multiple ways and mean different things. And a lot of times it's just like it depends on how it's perverted. Because many of us would look at the similar story of oh boy, what's the name? Greek dude that who defied the gods to bring light to humanity.
Oh, is that Prometheus?
Prometheus. Very good. Very good. Very good. You're on the ball today, Scotty. Yes,
I
Prometheus.
do. I do my
Because,
best.
basically gave us light. And why should Zeus keep us from having light? We need to be able to cook. We need to be able to see at night, you know. So that was a good
And it
light
was
bringer.
good.
So the whole light bringer story throughout history has multiple meanings and multiple directions you can go. But I guess that's part of our reality. There's evil and there's good. They're constantly fighting with each other and they're using the same tools.
That definitely sounds like Serling. Hello to Lemon Pie. Good to
Lemon!
see you. And also Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
James Caserta says, Lucifer, you have a lot of splaining to do. And the German national symbol in 1945 was itself stolen from other cultures.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We were just talking about that.
Well, and that's, as you said, good and evil are using the same toolbox because it's humanity's toolbox essentially, and so
Yeah,
and
it's
if you
us
want to
making
usurp
them
it,
really.
yeah, and so you take something popular, you make it your own, you put your stamp on it, and then you sell it on a lunchbox, and there you go. Now you got a group.
I do not want any of this stuff on a lunchbox. But if you could, please, opening narration, Scotty R37 in the private chat.
Thank you. Here we go. Portrait of a Bush League Führer named Peter Vollmer. A sparse little man who feeds off his self-delusions and finds himself perpetually hungry for want of greatness in his diet. And like some goose-stepping predecessors, he searches for something to explain his hunger and to rationalize why a world passes him by without saluting. The something he looks for and finds is in a sewer. In his own twisted and distorted lexicon, he calls it faith, strength, truth. But in just a moment, Peter Vollmer will ply his trade on another kind of corner, a strange intersection in a shadowland called the Twilight Zone. God, I love Rod Serling.
Oh yeah. Like
Man,
that
I wish I could
Bush
just walk
League
around. Bush League Führer. That man could, turn a phrase. I just want to wear a black suit and smoke all the time. That's it.
Yeah, and when you say that, I think of all these people in 1930s German dress playing baseball.
Oh yeah.
You're out.
That was a foul ball. Strike.
And then they played Bingo Long in the Traveling All-Stars.
Peter goes to
Lynn
his
Simon.
friend's house. Peter goes to his friend's house, earns gams. He does. He plays this cello here, and he takes off his jacket. Peter takes off his jacket in the hopes that Ernst won't know what he's been up to, but he knows instantly what he's been up to.
I think Hollywood likes to turn all Holocaust survivors into string musicians.
Interesting. I've never heard of that. But he washes his face, and he.
Isn't there a pianist?
Yeah.
Isn't the one the Adrian
that?
Brody
But
one?
there's strings inside of
that
a
was a good
piano.
film.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
no,
a good
straight.
film.
It is. Yeah.
But I mean, like, especially in the black and white days, there was a lot of, violins or cellos were like common instruments that some of these, actors were portrayed as playing in the roles. I guess, and you also hear that sound of the violin, like a violin solo, when someone starts speaking about the Holocaust. It just might be the tools of the orchestra or whatever, but they typically do align string instruments with it's just interesting. I'm not saying there's anything there.
That was actually interesting when I thought I was just listening to the soundtrack, but it was him playing the cello.
Yeah.
So he offers him coffee, but Peter wants something stronger, so he gets some wine. And
well, and I thought that this was a really good line where he's like, wine is for sipping, it's not medicine. And I was like, oh damn, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah.
Phantom Outsider is here. Here's something to add to think about. This episode came out in January 1963, but new documents out of Venezuela and Argentina say Mustache Man from Austria might have only died in 1962. Cue the Zone theme.
Oh no! Well, yeah.
Wow.
The whole
There's
Argentina
always kind of
connection thing there. I haven't researched that fully, so I can't really speak about it much. But
I found out. Yeah, I found out that Dr. Mengele, one of the worst people in the history of humanity, if you even want to give him that title, I don't think he was. He was well, that's also when you're talking about
pretty
monsters.
close.
When you're talking about monsters, the worst part, the most terrifying thing about the monsters is that they are just people. They aren't supernatural demons. They are just they're dudes or chicks. Like that's it. They're just heinous. And he was protected in South America. He was part of government in South America until he was discovered.
Yeah, it is my understanding that Hitler ended himself at the end of the war, but if there are conspiracies to the contrary, that's interesting enough.
Well, it was a dentist who declared it was his teeth.
Oh, okay.
That's basically it. It could go different ways. I mean, you could say, okay, that's conclusive, or you could say, maybe something else happened. I mean, it's not one of those things that I would explore thoroughly as long as we don't see the likes of him again.
Yeah, exactly. It's good enough for me that he's dead now.
Just how many next times do you suppose a human being has in the scheme of things?
Don't lecture me, Ernst.
And then
Don't lecture me.
Don't lecture me. Where did you come from, Pete? What were you doing? Were you lecturing people? You hypocritical little waif.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then he starts crying about his childhood. Oh, he had a bad childhood. And Ernst says, you peddle hate on the street corners like if it was popcorn. And people like you are the reason I went to the concentration camps in Dachau. And he says,
You know who put me there? Peter Vollmer. A lot of Peter Vollmers.
Yeah.
And I used to find you crying at my door late at night. I could pity you then.
But that's the thing, and it's something we don't like to think about, but during these regimes, who's scarier, the figurehead at the top or the people that supported it, went along with it? Because this AH
Right.
guy
And even
was
even in just
elected.
little ways, yeah.
He was elected. It's like,
But I'm not justifying. I'm not saying anything in terms of the validity of his election. But the thing is that after World War One and how Germany had been treated for going to war with the world, they were really looking for any reason to feel that they had any value. Like you take away, obviously they are punished for doing the bad thing in World War One, and then they want a national identity. They want something that will unify them because they've been told that they cannot have any pride whatsoever for their heritage. And so this guy shows up and he's like, you know what? Twisted sister, buddy, we're not going to take it anymore. And they were like, yeah, that's, you know what? That's a good idea. The only problem is that, and as I said, if you really want to consider yourself a hero in your own story, all you got to do is create some villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it started off small. Not small, but they started in the hospitals killing people. And it just
but it's just like
disabled people, old people, and then
medical assistance in dying.
Yeah, that does live on, unfortunately.
Hey man, I'm Canadian. I got it going on right here. So if I have an ingrown toenail, I can ask for my own euthanasia.
Or it's like, we're going to pay you if you put people on these ventilators, even though their lungs are filled with fluid.
Anyway, that's too dark. I don't want to get into this.
Okay, all right.
Those are the seeds of
but the mob mentality, that thinking, it's like, okay,
yeah,
who doesn't belong here, and you need to rat on them, and you need to tell the SS where they're at, and stuff like that. That that's where the mind might say, this doesn't seem to have a lot to do with shall we say making our lives better. It seems to be about going after people. And they didn't do anything to me,
They just figure people, they are inferior in some way. And there was even a small bit of America that sort of did that in eugenics in a kind of way where people, you'd go to court and they'd say you're feeble-minded, so now you can no longer procreate. So they'd castrate people. And it's on a small level.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Compared to this, but it was around during this time.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that ideology came from the U.S. And influenced,
But the whole point here, the whole odd thing here, though, is that this man survived the concentration camps, and he's got the sympathy to help someone who was a kid, who he raised as a kid because his parents were abusive alcoholics.
Well,
and
someone who's just been through that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
My main problem is in this episode, why, if he was raised by somebody like that, how come his views didn't change and he didn't he wasn't affected by that experience from
it's
Ernst.
Like what Scotty said. I mean, there's mistreatment, harsh times, suffering basically can be treated in two ways by any individual or groups of people. When you're suffering, you can either develop compassion so that you, later in life, when you're not suffering as much anymore, don't want to see others suffer either, and you care for them. Or it can take the thing, it's like, well, no one helped me during my suffering, so then you're just hate-filled, and then you just want to see other people suffer, even though it doesn't help you feel better. It's just like that evilness just comes out, or it festered, and then, comes out. So definitely the way to go there is to learn from your suffering and say, hey, you know what? This is something that happens in the human condition, and it's not other humans' fault unless they directly did it to you, you know?
This feels like something so foreign to me, so external, to have that much hate that you want
Oh, yeah.
groups
Well,
of
that's a
people
good
to be
sign.
blamed for it.
That's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Not me.
Friends
No,
to
I'm
my
kidding.
father.
That's the boy again speaking. The little boy with so much fear in him.
And also, like maybe there was a situation with Peter where he did feel that altruism, but because he was sort of put upon himself, and it's like, my father never loved me, my mother was crazy, I was raised by this Hebrew, and at a certain point, you're justifying what you're doing, and well, I can't be prejudiced because I have a Jewish father figure. And it's kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. And it's like, well, yeah, hang on a second.
Wait a minute.
If you're talking about how your friends are of a different ethnicity than yourself, possibly, it's seeping into your worldview.
Well, yeah, that's become kind of a trope today. It's like, it's not like you would sound good by saying, hey, I'm not racist. I don't have a single person of color that's a friend of mine.
Yeah. It's just
That doesn't help either.
No, it's not helping your cause.
Well, I mean, even if you don't have a cause, unfortunately today, the accusation of racism is rampant.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
It is overdone.
It's not reserved just for the neo nut jobs.
Right. And that is, again, that's the
It's
weirdest.
a
I think
weapon.
that's the weirdest thing, is that when you start weaponizing something that is actually important, and you start talking about the Nazis and being like, well, they're bad and you're one of them. And it's like, how do you justify that? There are so many people, and it's just overused. It's yeah, and I think that evil should be called out when it is.
It's been watered down, and to the detriment of when it's actually happening.
Yeah. So when you do see someone who is actually behaving in such a way, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. It's like, yeah, no, we know, but also the person who made your latte wrong at Starbucks, you said that they were a Nazi because they misspelled your name.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, calm down, Gladys.
Phantom Outsider says, because he's angry. So sure he helped him, but not enough as far as the angry person is concerned. He could have helped more, but didn't. No gratitude, only greed and anger. The problem is the old guy keeps calling him a scared boy, and his anger hates that anyone saw him as weak or scared.
Yeah.
Because the old man is just being honest with him. Just
Well, but you get the sense that the old man, what's his name, Franz?
His name is Ernst.
Mm-hmm.
But the actor's name is Franz, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
and
Ernst,
he was actually
in a camp.
Was he? I think there's something like that. Let me check.
Something like that.
But
it was just Camp Hiawatha. Camp
Candy. And so, but yeah, like the thing is that
he's a real Dachau survivor. Yes.
I think that Ernst did sort of nurture Peter throughout his early life, and unfortunately his desire for victimization and creating antagonists for himself or blaming others for his lot in life. I think Ernst would have wanted him to grow out of that, but it just kept building and building, and that's how he got in to the worst Boy Scouts club ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Well, and he says that he's quiet throughout the episode, that he was quiet when he was young. And so I guess maybe he took care of him physically, but didn't really help as much emotionally.
Well, and if you do sort of, there, boy, you are put upon. It is bad what's happened to you. And if you do that enough, then sort of taking care of someone turns into justifying their worldview. And it's like, I am put upon. Thank you for noticing. And then they carry that forward.
But the
Phantom Outsider says that he should have laid off calling him scared and called him good, and maybe that would have made him become good just by being called that. And I can understand that too.
Well, suffering is part of the human condition. We all just kind of encounter it throughout lives, and for some of us, it's very intense. But the point is, humanity needs to realize that unless it's other human beings directly causing your suffering, don't blame it on them. I mean, we're in many ways in this thing together, trying to figure it out, and it's better to work together than to try and make each other suffer even more.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a
I wish that
yeah.
were more easily understood by everyone, Lawrence.
Well, and there's a wonderful Peter Capaldi Doctor Who speech, and it's like, so what are you gonna do when you win? What are you gonna do? Like, if you want to eliminate all these people to make it so that you can win, what are you gonna do after that? When someone else shows up and challenges you, what are you gonna do to the next people? You're just creating more cruelty if you're gonna eliminate others, and someone's gonna show up, and they're gonna try and eliminate you. The wheel keeps turning.
It's not logical. It's more emotion than intellect, really, because
Yup.
it's just that hate that's driving things. That emotion, like Davros. Remember Genesis of the Daleks? He said
Sure.
if he could only just have the power of holding a tube, with a virus in it that could eliminate all other life in the universe. Just holding that tube in my hand, that power, that would be magnificent. Like, he just loved power so much, even if it meant destroying everything, including himself, just being able to have that power. It's like, okay, I'd rather just take a nap, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. I would. I'd like a Coke and a smile, motherfucker. Sorry about the swear.
Yeah, play some video games.
Yeah.
But man, they almost put, well, since they didn't use any swastikas, they almost put some in his eyeballs, but they didn't.
Oh, that would have been creepy as hell.
Damn.
Yeah, they dropped that, and I guess it was difficult to do, and then also the network didn't want any of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we
Now
gotta
this is
soften up the we
Yeah.
gotta we can't look at evil as that evil.
Well, in that I read
I simply followed your tears, Mr. Volman.
a bond. No, but apparently, like this episode, I just read that after it aired, they received thousands of angry letters.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Grams has a contention with that. I'm not up to it in my notes just yet, but he doesn't.
Okay.
He can't find any evidence of that out of the thousands of letters that they received about
Oh.
it. He could only find 12 that were negative.
Okay. Well, then, and you're always right about this, Jill, is that I shouldn't do my research on IMDb.
And the only problem with
yeah.
IMDb is that they don't make you cite your source. And there is a source for that. I forget who it is who came up with that. But Grams is a bit better authority from the actual text that verifies things directly. And he says it could be true, but I can't really find any evidence of it.
The 12.
And that's how that works. But of course, now here's the shadowy figure, the mysterious figure. Nobody knows who it is.
Well,
I had a feeling what they were going for there. I didn't know that they were really going to do that specific person, but because he did at one point say, I am an amalgamation of all of you. I thought, oh, maybe this was some spirit that was generated based on all of their hate. And it was like basically a manifested hate monster.
Like
Serpentor? One that infected Hitler himself. But last night, Scotty R37 instinctively called him a Nazi Jiminy Cricket, which isn't too far off, except instead of advising you to do good, it instead instructs you how to be evil and Machiavellian.
But so, and again, going back to the use of the words and whatnot, do you guys G.I.
Yeah,
Joe
I
in the
know who it is.
1980s, there was an entire plot line where the Cobra was going around the world and they were trying to find Napoleon, Genghis Khan, like they were getting all the bad people, and Hitler was one of them. Like they freely said, "We are getting the genetic material of Adolf Hitler." I think it was Dr. Mindbender who said that. Oh, speaking like what kind of a world do we live in where I can watch a cartoon with mentions of Adolf Hitler and a character named Dr. Mindbender, but now on the internet it's just like, don't say it, it's bad. It's like I gotta go. I gotta go get that cartoon. I love
have no
Serpentor.
idea how this internet stuff works. It's like you can't talk about. It's like they're bad people. You can't mention them. It's like, well, no, it's good to mention the bad people from history, I think.
Well, specifically when you're saying that they're bad, like you're not elevating. I'm not Peter.
It's important to remember history, or you're doomed to repeat it. It's a timeless sentiment that is true all the time.
And the things you believe in, which are the things I believe in as well. Your success, Mr. Fulmer, will be my success.
And I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Are you saying Hitler's the most interesting man in the world?
He has a similar voice.
He does. Yeah.
Okay. I guess the accent does go all over the place with this guy just a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I was saying originally. Like, I was listening to the accent, and I'm like, this could be a couple people.
Well, and James Caserta in the chat says that Serling didn't like his performance, referring to, this guy. What's his name again?
Yeah, you know what? Neither did Scott Zickree. He didn't. Dennis Hopper.
Oh, no.
Dennis Hopper. I'm an idiot.
This one's Hopper.
I'm just going to call him King Koopa from now on.
Yeah, your princess is in another castle.
Yeah.
And the shadowy man has given him advice on how to improve his rhetoric and to identify with the audience, essentially to...
The thing that is most of the essence, Mr. Vollmer, is that you make this mob an extension of yourself.
Which I think is, like, this is really interesting, and I do appreciate, because Rod Serling did write it. And it is almost like a pamphlet on how to garner support. It's like, you want people to follow you? Then don't tell them that they have to follow you. Tell them that you are a part of the group that is being, put upon. Make you the victim along with them. If you put yourself in that position and then you tell them that they are with you, you don't have to force them to say, come with me. It's like, we're already in the same boat. Which is...
Shall I tell you who the minorities are? We are the minorities!
How can you say you don't like that performance? My God.
Yeah, neither did Scott Zickree. So both and I guess Rod Serling thought that he wasn't practiced enough, but I don't know. It was a good performance to me. He's essentially just copycatting. He's just copying exactly what Hitler tells him to say.
Right. Yeah. And that also, like, your hateful ideas are not new. You're just figuring out how to motivate other people to subscribe to your hateful ideas. Although
he's just regurgitating.
Can you imagine how many regimes have had similar ideologies in the past, but they're not known for it anymore just because of history, and only historians would know of their actual ideologies. Like Charlemagne may not have been all that, open-minded about other, ethnicities and stuff like that, but we don't hear about it because it's much further away. And
sure. Well, and then you think about like the you think about cults and people who are sort of subverted and join into something like, the Heaven's Gate with the Hail Bop, and then you got the Jonestown and the drinking of the Kool-Aids and all that. And it's just like, yeah, they kind of fall away and people don't talk about them, and so you don't really remember them. But as Jill said, and as the adage goes, if you don't pay attention to it, then you're doomed to repeat it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me for just one moment.
Sure. And he's calling them
Water
neighbors,
closet.
so he's also the alternate universe kind of Mr. Rogers. He keeps calling everybody neighbors, but that's how he's connecting with them, like the evil Mr. Rogers.
Hello, neighbor.
Won't you be my neighbor? And annihilate people that I don't
What
like.
was that? Speedy delivery guy? Man,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember much anymore, but there was all sorts of
Mr.
questionable
Feely.
people. Mr. Feely, yeah. Where did you get that name, sir?
I never thought about it that way. It was just an innocent part of my childhood.
Someone decided this would be a great name for a character on a kid's show.
Right.
Oh, it's Irish sounding. Well.
So anyway, he's got pictures of it's a little wild that that there would be any kind of support when you have pictures of Hitler and his highest ranking officers right behind him. It's almost unbelievable, but that's also part of the point of the episode, that nobody would believe this would happen until it's too late. And Peter says, so he continues his rant, talking about the atom bomb and the Russians, and he's speaking more generally to everybody. White supremacy nonsense, but it's working better now.
Well, yeah, you gotta kind of spread out and latch onto some things that people can agree on to suck them in.
Yeah, like who sold us out? Apparently, it's easy to talk about the Russians. And well, if it's a minority opinion,
well, that's right. They don't like the communists. That's their competition.
Well, nobody likes the communists, so that's an easy thing.
Well, no one likes the fascists either, really. I mean,
it's true.
In fact, this day and age, the F word tends to be worse.
Yeah, in any case, I wouldn't want to choose from either of them.
No,
I'd say
the
like,
left
do you want
hand nor
fascism
the right hand when it comes to tyranny.
Can I just have capitalism? It's not always the best, but it's the best of what we got.
Free market.
Free market, yeah.
Because capitalism itself was, I think, a term invented by Marx to put it down. The free market just results in people building up too much capital, and it's like, well, there's always going to be a bunch of people that build up a lot of capital. I noticed,
but that's good though, because then they do things that are beneficial to everybody.
Oh yeah, well, it happens in communism and fascism too. It's just they tend to be in the leadership only. Right.
The only people who benefit are the leadership. Yep. Yeah, right. If you look at North Korea, I don't want to get too political, but if you look, all the lights are off in most of the country except for that one little pocket of lights you see. Those are the leaders of North Korea.
And here's a tip, people: don't fall for someone who says they're immortal.
Right.
Because I think one of the Kim Jongs of the past was like that. Was it Sun Young Kim was supposed to?
Well, I'm just picking on one of the worst ones because they even got it down to the haircut. You have to have specific haircuts there. So anyway, so Peter continued. So this is when Serling says he lives. He is. He's living now. Unfortunately, it's a sad, dark thing. But Peter continues his hate speech and everything, and then that's when Scotty remembers that Dennis Hopper played King Koopa. So that's a lot. You know what? I'd rather be reviewing Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
From the 80s.
Yeah, Liza recognized Dennis Hopper last night because of the Mario Brothers movie. Mm-hmm. King
Nice.
Koopa. Sounds like
So
a
wait a
big
second.
band leader.
Wait a second. Drinking the Kool-Aid. A lot of them didn't know it was poison, and when some figured out, the choice was drink or get shot. Oh, he's talking about cult leaders. Okay,
Yeah.
so I must have missed when he started talking about that. But yes, this is definitely cult of personality and definitely leading people to violence. So that definitely very relevant. But here, Peter has to pay the rent. He's behind on the rent by $200.
Yeah, I guess that's something. Well, maybe he should have put out a tip jar.
Mhm. And of
Don't
course,
forget to subscribe to his Patreon.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But and then his henchman says, "Oh well, he's got to have his shekels." So immediately he goes for the
Yeah, our torch burning society has come under
prejudice.
rough times here at YouTube. We've had
Mhm.
we've had to seek monetization elsewhere.
Yeah. So join us on Rumble. No, I'm joking.
We need time to grow.
But I don't rent time. I just rent the hall.
$2,100 in today's money.
Oh,
Is
thank
that
you
how
for
much
the
he was paid?
inflation. That is actually quite a bit for renting the hall. Well, I guess, yeah, I guess if you're gonna, he's like, okay, if they're gonna speak hate speech here, I'm gonna charge them a lot of money.
Well, but also it's like, oh, I guess, just don't go into business with people who are going to have neo-Nazi rallies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just a thing. Just a thing.
Yeah,
Advice.
and I think that's part of it too, is that he's complicit in this, even though he doesn't believe in what Peter's saying. He is
Mhm.
helping him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have
But,
to.
well, don't forget, people can say a lot of stuff as long as it's profitable. So,
Yeah, as long as they're paying for the time. But he's not paying for the time, so now he's in trouble.
yeah.
He's in trouble until suddenly the money comes out of nowhere. And of course, it was the shadowy man who gave him money.
Shadowy man.
There's money.
Where did he get it?
I don't know. Yeah, where does a ghostly figure earn money?
Where does a silhouette earn money?
Right.
I guess starring in all those Bond film intros.
Yeah. Well, but also, like, you could say that it's just allegorical. Like, it is just someone has to pay for the person who is the front man. Someone has to, and that's what I like about this episode, because when we started watching this last night, Jill, you were like, I hate this episode, and I was like, okay, we'll see. And then watching it,
It's just hard to talk about and constantly talk about the terrors of humanity for an hour or more.
Yeah, but
we don't have to get into those. Maybe just the beginnings, how these things develop.
But being evil is so easy. And that's I think that's the virtue of humanity, is that being a good person is difficult. It's harder.
Yeah. And that's what is kind of like,
really?
I guess a big part of the human condition is we have the ability, we're not driven by instinct in this survival of the fittest system that really is the system of the planet Earth. We've developed enough of a thinking mind where we can think beyond that and think about morals. Most life on Earth doesn't think about morals. They just feed, do what they need to do to survive, and it's survival of the fittest. But in humanity, we have the capacity to think beyond just our survival and think about, making this whole human condition, this whole experience better for all of us. And so,
yep.
And of
what
course,
about your General Order 24? Well,
this is just the most recent example.
Today.
Yeah, right.
But this kind of thinking, though, in trying to get a leg up on your fellow person or fellow human, or to subjugate them, the whole survival of the fittest mentality is actually the earlier one. It is the thinking that animals come up with, given the conditions on Earth. So it is basically more natural, and what is the human condition is to rise above that, to rise above the laws of the natural world, and not be so survival of the fittest, or
That's the hope,
join
but
groups to get ahead, or join groups to get power over other people, you know.
right, I would hope that now that we would go more towards goodness now than before, but
Yeah,
things are
it's a
still
different
not
evolution.
going
It's
that
not
way.
evolution in survival of the fittest, it's evolution in getting a better morality together.
Hmm. But we started off as a species. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's proof, but there were other not human but sentient creatures, the
Well, maybe.
Neanderthals and others that we may have caused the extinction of
Oh
because of
yeah.
the survival of the
Yeah,
fittest
but
thing.
it's not our fault here today. Like, it wasn't
Right.
Scotty's fault, you know.
Right. And right.
That's the way
Scotty's not
life is
responsible for
on
that.
this planet.
And
It's
that's what I led
defeat
you to
your
believe.
competition and wipe them out if at all possible. And it's like, no, we're over centuries we're developing different morals that are
Well,
kind
and
of like in conflict with the program.
I've had this sort of conversation and self-assessment with Jill and other friends, and sometimes I get adamant about things, and it's a matter of whether or not is it because what I truly believe that I want to push forth as a good idea, or is it that I just want to win? Is it my desire just to be right as opposed to being productive and helpful? And when you
I think
when
anytime
you assert as opposed, like if you feel justified and you're not curious about other ways to make things better, and you just say I'm right and here's why, and then you close yourself off to new ideas,
Oh yeah,
that becomes very, very dangerous and
no, true.
self-serving, and it's not cooperative, it's not friendly, it's not nice. It's just, what do you want? And the answer is power. Like, the
no
answer
matter
is,
what it is, when you try to group people together in one group and treat all of them as an enemy of some kind of way, it's never going to end well. And
Yeah, you gotta,
whether it's just angry tweets or actual violence.
people are
yeah,
individuals, and unfortunately I think people too much fall for programming or influences out there that make them into stereotypes where they don't explore their individuality more, but rather think in like a herd mentality of, oh, well, this is my group, this is how we act, this is the kind of music we like, this is how we're supposed to think. And they just follow along, not knowing that, well, wait a minute, you can make some choices for yourself. You aren't.
And
but
so this
there
group
is an
does
idea of
buy.
community as well, as long as that community isn't hateful.
Well, this community is hateful, and
Yeah.
they rent
Yes, they are.
they rent they rent the hall from this guy, and they don't respect him. So just like the cop dropped the flag earlier, Hopper drops the money on the floor.
Yeah.
And so,
Kneel before Zod.
and so Peter is smoking a
What is
cigarette.
that Quark? What
They're
is
all
the
happy.
Quark quote from the Siege of AR 775 or whatever? And it's like, yeah, no, these so-called humans, they'll love you and take away their food and their replicators and their sonic showers, and they
Their
will become
root
more
beer.
brutal, and their root beer, and they'll become more brutal than the most
And their
bloodthirsty Klingons.
Yeah, okay, he does say that, but if you actually
Yep.
look at the way the officers behave in that episode, yeah, they're a little more angsty, but they're on the ball and they're professional and they do their best and they're
Well,
not
I don't know.
they're not
Tuco's
trying
there,
to
and he's
what
pretty.
would happen
not
if
trying
you
to eat each other alive or anything at that
what
point.
would happen if you took away some of the creature comforts of the Ferengi?
Well,
Would
it
they
can't.
be?
Like, I don't know what you would take away, except for like. Actually, you have to give the Ferengi to
Yeah,
make.
you know what? Yeah, you know
You
what?
gotta-
Quark is a little sanctimonious sometimes, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, of course he is. But like the thing is that you have to give things to the Ferengi to make them feel
He won't even let
underwhelmed.
his mom
gotta
wear
give-
clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give her a dress, and all of a sudden the Ferengi are all like, "What? What?" It always rains on Ferenginar. That's the sequel to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's always raining in Ferenginar.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's you can listen to Rain on Frankenstein to go to sleep. Although
Oh,
it's
really?
just
What's
regular
the
rain.
difference between rain on Ferenginar and the rain on Earth?
They
Oh.
have hundreds of different words for rain, I think, in Frankenstein.
would you need
Ferengi
so many?
poetry. It's my favorite. Anyway,
If you
meanwhile,
were
back at the hate mongers.
well, okay, Phantom Outsider's talking about Jonestown, and of course the Kool-Aid killing people. And
Mhm.
Lance from the Outcast Creative says, popping in to give you guys a like. Sorry, I can't
What's up?
stay. Got a music track dropping in 24 minutes. Oh, check
of
out.
course. Everyone says that whenever we have things about neo-Nazis.
No, but Lance, he has a great channel, and I didn't know you were dropping a music track. That's great. And check out his channel, the Outcast
Next
Creative.
time, drop it after the stream.
There's time enough for
Not
both.
during.
The internet's a vast ocean of ideas.
Oh, it's okay. We love Lance, and he can talk. He can promote whatever he likes.
Yep.
Okay.
He's got a carte blanche. Take Scotty's She-Hulk doll. How dare!
Out of my cold, dead hands.
Okay, so now he meets back up with the shadowy guy, and he says they need a martyr. And he says you don't find one, you choose one. And so he chooses Nick. Nick becomes the martyr, the one who hid under the stairs.
See, it's so interesting because when we were watching this, I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's bad, but it's whatever. Kill Nick. I don't care.
Ugh.
What? Really?
Well, it's not until they, later on when I was just like, okay, now you have to die. But this
You take
does
one
sort
of no value and you make him into a symbol. You wrap him in a flag and you make his death work for you.
And this is like that's chilling.
Who was the martyr in the Third Reich?
That's what I was trying to piece together, and I couldn't find one. I think Germany itself.
Yeah, okay.
I think Germany was the martyr because of the
there you go.
because of the outcome of World War I. It's like, how
There
can we
was
be
one.
treated this way?
There was
There
one.
was
I
one?
have to. Yeah, I had the note for it. Where is it?
Because there was they did. I don't know. I think it was more symbolic because wasn't there like they burned something to the ground and then they blamed it on other people and yeah.
False flag.
Well, yeah, there was false
Kinda.
flag stuff like that, but I meant like a real martyr that they could base a movement on.
They did have one. I just don't remember his name.
Gary.
Klaus.
I am Klaus.
Here it is. Okay, here it is. I found it in my notes. It is a reference to the 1930 murder of Horst Wessel, a low-ranking officer.
The Germans.
Well, I guess that didn't stand the test of time now, did it?
Horst Wessel? Well? Jill, you pressed the button and we can't hear you.
You muted.
Oh, okay. Phantom Outsider had the answer for us, so I should have looked. No one liked Nick anyway. Poor Nick. He is such a great guy, but no one liked Nick. Shut up, you.
Oh my God, they killed Nick. You bastards.
Yes, precisely. And so that happens. It happens pretty instantly. We don't exactly see, the method of death, but they try to make it look like somebody who hates them killed him instead of them having done it themselves.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't want to bring it up. I'm not going to say it. We did come to the same conclusion.
That is in poor taste, so let's not do that.
Right. Well, no, I mean, never mind. There was an assassination that was a martyr recently.
Yeah, but it wasn't committed by his group to amplify his group. So I don't want to mention it because I don't think that's the truth, and I don't want to perpetuate that.
Fair enough. I agree.
People will probably be able to guess what we're talking about just by what we just said.
Yep.
And
And this is
yeah,
also,
so
I like this note. I like the note
yeah, me too.
in terms of being a message. The only
there's difference between manufacturing a martyr and
an actual martyr.
yeah.
Only good
But
bug is
still,
dead
it's
bug.
always something to be careful about. Make sure you are making decisions with balanced mind, not just emotions and all.
Well, yeah, and that's it. We're having a conversation about a sensitive subject, and so starting to theorize conspiratorially would be counterproductive. And I agree with Jill. I'm sorry, it's something
So right
it popped
now,
into my
I
head.
guess we could say this
Yeah,
guy,
I thought of it too. Don't worry.
Shadow Guy, is being a good Palpatine right now.
Ha!
Yeah, right.
Being
Let
from
the hate
behind the
flow
scenes.
through you.
Some might
Yeah, so-
call unnatural.
Not from a Jedi.
So hello to Psyche Opera.
That's the lady.
What up, Psyche Opera?
Yes. She recognized Dennis Hopper last night and looked him up afterwards. And yeah, the one that she really keyed in on was the Mario Brothers movie. That's what she remembered him from.
Well,
Yeah,
and you
I
know
wish I
what?
were reviewing the Mario's brother movie right now.
Yeah, but still, Dennis Hopper's going to be the villain. And I just
True, but I get a dinosaur Yoshi.
Yes, yeah. That was probably the best part of the Super Mario Brothers movie was the dinosaur Yoshi, and Samantha Mathis because hotness. But I just recently got Blue Velvet, and I've seen it like ages ago on VHS. So, and I rented it, so that tells you how long ago it was. But I finally got Blue Velvet, and I can't wait to watch it. And it's got Dennis Hopper as Frank Booth. Don't look at me with his mask and everything. And it's part of the reason why I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon is because of Dennis Hopper in that movie. So I'm really, really looking forward. Heineken, that ass. Pabst Blue
Dennis
Ribbon.
Hopper is part of Scotty R37 lore.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He was in a lot of films.
Oh, man, legendary.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes. Is that the next generation or is it?
I don't know. I don't like chainsaws and massacres.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of chainsaws or massacres. Although I do like Jessica Biel. I think it's her birthday today too, and she was in the remake. She wears a white tank top and gets wet, and so happiness pie.
I like chainsaws when they're used as somebody's arm in zombie movies.
Oh yeah. Big thoughts and love to Bruce Campbell. Thank you for bringing that up.
Well, then it's assistance for the disabled.
Yes, exactly. It's prosthetics.
It's
he talks
giving a
more. He
zombie
continues.
a new lease on life.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too far.
Yeah.
Now,
and now
Jill,
Nick
I have a question.
is in the frame. Nick is a martyr. He's like, oh, he was an honorable man and whatever. But he's talking out of his ass. Yes.
Don't you think that? Yeah. Well, no. He is actually. See, this is the thing: is that even Guy is like, Nick was our friend. Why are you? Why are you?
Actually, even Peter said, "Oh, but he's my friend," and Shadow Hitler says, "Well, we're continuing this friendship because now he can be part of the cause by losing
But that's
his life."
the thing that kind of confused me here. Was I thought the intention was to take one of the people that they supported and was close to their cause, end him, use him as a martyr to make other people the enemy and stuff. But here,
yes,
he was saying some things about Nick that didn't seem all that. I don't know. It confused me.
Well, but
he was a fat pig with no guts. He was a greasy big mouth who copped out at every turn.
Yeah, it's
justify it within the people who know what really happened, who actually carried out the.
Oh, okay. So why it was okay for them to do that?
Right.
And so they just all agree.
So now we can use this fat pig as our dearly departed.
Yeah.
Right. And then they all
Inspiration.
agree by say publicly that he was honorable and screw the guy
Okay.
who killed him.
Phantom Outsider in the chat says, "Is that the same Nick that was eating paste at the last meeting?" Yes, it was. Over. I bent my Wookiee.
Poor Nick.
Poor Nick. Poor Nazi Nick. That's what they called him. Nazi Nick.
These are all misguided people.
Yes, they are. And you know what? I'm going to be glad when they're dead.
Nazi!
Yep. Yeah. The only good Nazi is dead Nazi.
Well,
Following?
not all the people that have been given that label deserve that label.
But that guy has
Yeah.
a huge upper
But I
lip.
mean,
He
come
should
on.
get he should have a mustache.
had
He
a
has an
choice.
unusually large upper lip. And so and
Oh, I'm not
especially
talking
if you're
about
going to be
these
a part of this party, you're allowed to grow mustaches. It's encouraged.
Yeah, I'm not talking about these people. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
You're
what
fine
this
with
is
these?
portraying.
All
It's
right.
just you played a clip of what's his name there, Lukey Luke from the
Lukey Luke
Funky
and the Funky
Bunch.
Bunch.
And yeah, Lukey Luke there, and he's used that word for some people that don't deserve it. Really.
But again, I think that that's something that is all over the place in terms
Yeah.
like, well, and
probably
when
shouldn't
when
be.
we do when that sort of red versus blue, that left versus right comes up, the most base argument ends up being, you're a Nazi, you're a commie.
Yeah.
All right, we're done. It's over. Like, you can't have any sort of understanding. Also,
Yeah, I know.
Dennis Hopper's doing really good work.
No,
here.
he did a good
Yeah, you
job
can't
in
just
this.
call people that because of the weight that it carries, and you diminish the weight of what it means.
Well, it's
by
just
calling
a
everyone that.
couple of
Same with fascism itself.
yeah,
People
it's
don't
just-
know what the word really means.
It's just
It's a
couple
complex organization of government, and people bring it just, you're a fascist. And it's like, why? Because I prefer no ice in my Sprite? What's going
It's
on?
only slightly more intelligent than saying dumb poopy mouth.
Yeah, sure. Totes.
So Ernst goes to the bar and he talks to a friend about he's afraid he's seen this before and he knows where it's leading.
Mm-hmm.
Too monstrous to be real. So we ignored them or laughed at them.
And he's talking about Germany, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And how that used to they thought it was just a phase or something and that it would go away.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, what is that, the old saying? It's like, oh, first they came for the jaywalkers, and then they came for the other people, and then they came for them, and nobody said anything, and then they came for
Exactly.
you. And there was no
Wasn't
one left to help you.
Yeah. That was Pastor Newmeyer or something like that.
But it is,
yeah.
and it is also one of those things where it's like, I think that comedy, I think that derision and mockery is something that is helpful, but there does come a point where just criticizing the ideas is not enough. You do have to, there is an organ, you have, no, I can't, because now I'm just, dismissing ideas is great. Mocking ideas is great. But when things start galvanizing, there is a time where you have to just be like, okay, seriously, what are we doing now? Because making fun isn't working.
Yeah, this is about to boil over.
Can't let it. We simply can't let it happen again.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where he turns into the hero antagonist of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, this is when Scotty realizes that he's going to die. So that was his prediction.
Well, no, it's not. Oh yeah, no, I did realize it was like, oh yeah, no, Ernst is gonna die, and I was afraid of it, and I didn't want it to happen
Me neither.
because
Yeah.
he's reasonable, and he's tried to solve the situation with compassion.
Yeah, he
And
tried to be sympathetic, and he said he told him earlier, we didn't mention that it was my sentimentality that you speak against on your street corners. I'm the worst of your criminals, and because I care so much about my fellow man, and that's his
Yeah.
sickness. But it's also his goodness.
but
On
when
100 different street corners. It was drivel then, and it is drivel now.
like, and
I
that's
think
the
most of us
thing.
would have kicked that guy out a long time ago.
It's
That's why he's different.
poisonous. It's poisonous altruism is to identify people and be like, maybe I can. What's the meme? Maybe I can fix her. It's like, no, if I'm just nice to you and I try my best and I let you know what I mean and I explain, and hopefully some of this will get through. And there is a point where you have to be like, no, it's not getting through. It's not working.
Well, and that point is where you see, like, for sure, an inevitable point where this guy's going to make his ideas manifest, and not just his ideas. They really have to cross a specific line where you say, okay, they've done harm now. They've waived their rights, and it's fair to take action now.
Well,
and I guess he didn't see that point happening just yet. And I mean, reason. I mean, when people are reasonable, we think, yeah, reason can do anything, really. But there's people that turn it off, and it just won't get through.
there is
And
a
that's
point,
what's
though,
hard to
and
deal with.
I think Ernst does think that he's kind of, not to be punny, but I think he does think that he's bulletproof when it comes to Peter because of everything that he has done to support him. And it's
'Cause
like,
he's a
you're
father
not,
figure.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to do this. You can't do this, like, morally, ethically, emotionally, like, seriously, guy, you can't do this. And
He's also
I'm-
got a determination to stop it because he doesn't want the nightmare to happen again. In the background,
No.
when he says we can't let it happen again, Volmer is saying, we can't really hear it very well, but he says violence happens to be the only way to be violent. And so that is I would say that's a call to action.
Yeah.
That needs to be stopped. And he's doing it now.
Well, don't forget,
He's-
we've got evil Jiminy Cricket sitting on his shoulder being like, kills the old man.
Yeah, but
I'm
he
flying
doesn't know that.
Frankenfloke.
Ernst does not. He's not aware of the emperor.
He's pulling the strings, yeah.
A 1963 Führer right off the assembly line? Well, this one is not so new. He's not so fresh.
Yeah, exactly. This is just an old copy of the same old evil.
Mm-hmm.
Problem children. Sick, sad neurotics who take applause like a needle.
I love that line. I love that line.
Who takes applause like a needle.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Ernst tells Peter to let everyone else listen or else.
Or else I'll tell him about a quaking, whimpering boy who cried on my couch. Who still cries on my couch.
He's letting him talk. Like, Peter keeps letting him go.
It reminds me, okay, and I know, I'm sorry, we're going from very, very heavy and heady subjects, and my brain always goes to Star Trek. And I'm thinking about
okay.
the
We need
episode
Star Trek right now.
Chain of Command, where and Picard is being tortured by Gul Madred, and it's like, you think you're a powerful man, but all I'm going to see is a scared, broken child eating eggs in a doorway. You are pitiable to me, sir.
Oh,
You think you're
wow. That really does
powerful.
tie into this really, really explicitly.
Mm.
And that was a difficult thing to get through, and it was fictional. I didn't like seeing Picard tortured, but
No.
it's a good
No.
episode.
Put
I'm
him down.
sorry.
Yeah, put me down. Put me down. Shut me up. Stifle me. Why don't you?
There are 4 lights.
Yeah, and fascism very often also deals with gaslighting.
Yeah.
Ideologies do.
Well, no, some of them reinforce positivity. Like I know we're waist deep in the sludge of subverting people's good natures. But like no, Ernst is the hero of this story, which I think is very, very admirable.
This
It's
is
too
your
bad.
strength. This, and the torchlights, and the crowd, and the sea quiet.
I just see, like, compassion for fellow human beings up until the point that they, harm others. I see that as just truth, not an ideology. I don't know.
Well, but your right to swing ends at the point where it connects with my face.
Right, exactly. I like to believe in the inherent worth and dignity of everyone until they prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last line of 7, when Morgan Freeman's character says, Ernest Hemingway, he quotes Ernest Hemingway, "The world is a good place and worth fighting for." I agree with half of that.
That's Samwise Gamgee.
Is it? It's Rudy?
Samwise in the where he's talking there with the Frodo, and
Mr. Frodo,
and even what's his name is there, and you see Gollum's face as he's even thinking about it. These tales of old. There is good in this world, and you're part of it. Well,
What are we holding on to, Sam? There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
Yeah, we were on the same wavelength there. Thanks, Jill.
You're welcome. That is the only Lord of the Rings I have so far. But yeah. Right on. No, and that's absolutely relevant.
Sorry,
Sauron
Scotty.
Is definitely
Please continue.
That kind of figure.
No. That was good. That was good. I'm not gonna step all over Samwise. But that's, when we are talking about such dark subjects, like it is, we can identify evil. We can see what the philosophy is. We can see how people are garnered towards it. And it does help to shed a little bit of light and say, you know what? The world ain't shit. Calm down. Some people are good. Some people are helping. Everything's okay. We're not going to die yet.
Oh, since I called him the evil Mr. Rogers earlier, the real Mr. Rogers always says in times of tragedy to always look for the people who are helping.
Yeah. Yes. It's fun to criticize, be sarcastic, sardonic, and criticize and all that jazz. But every now and then you need just an unadulterated, squeaky clean example of goodness as a light to go towards. And I don't care what that light is, but just find the good. Don't make villains. Find heroes.
Yeah, I think Phantom Outsider has a good point here.
Okay, let's look at it in just a second. I've been dying to play this clip.
This is your Führer. He's yours. I give him to you. A gift from the sewers.
Yeah, I'm glad I killed him, and I hope he burns in hell. To quote Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, he was just releasing him. Like he's done with him. And that is great. It's like when in Day of the Dove when Kirk says, "We know about you, and we don't want to play."
Yeah. Don't play with evil. Don't fuss with fire.
Which one did you like from Phantom? Because all of his chats are very good, and I don't know which one.
Well, the last one where he said you need to get the guy away from his support system that's basically egging him on and protecting him. As long as he continues going back to the life that he's leading right now, you're not going to be able to get him to reason.
You have to talk the crazy down without a support system.
Even if the person's trying to be a leader, the the system they're a part of is still support for them and helps lock them into their mindset even further.
But Pete's not being a leader. Pete
No,
is,
that's true.
again, he's seeking gratification. He's seeking acknowledgement and support. And he's not a leader. He's a sponge. He's an emotional vampire using hate to get other people to hate.
Yeah. Agreed. As any sense of leadership is just cloak for his weakness, his pathetic actual inability to come to terms with reality. He is delusional. And there's the reveal.
Charlie Chaplin, everybody.
Yes. And this is supposed to be Hitler, but he doesn't quite.
Well, he's in disguise.
Right.
He had to stretch out the mustache a little bit.
Yeah. He says that, well, actually, he describes Peter pretty well. He says, your voice is that of a lion. Your instincts are those of a rabbit.
Hey, Old Man Bird is here.
Hello, Old Man Bird.
You plan the battles and you're never there when they're fought. Why don't you come out in the light?
And so he does. He reveals himself to be who we knew who he was 15 minutes into the episode. We were making fun of it throughout, but
I was taking over the world when your universe was a crib.
When your grandfather was in diapers.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
And as for being in darkness, Mr. Fulmer, I invented darkness.
I feel like that's something an evil villain would say to Batman.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. But also, let's be fair. Like, Hitler is one of the best Batman villains ever. Like, Captain America punched him in the face over 150 times.
Oh, good for Captain America.
Yeah, good for Captain America. He's a mensch.
Now I give orders. And from now on, you must be built of steel.
I do like that in terms of the production of the episode and how it goes, is that when he is giving advice, Hitler stays in the shadows. And Dennis Hopper is there and he's like, brother, I can. And then when it is revealed that it's Dolph, and then they sort of switch positions, and it is the point that Hitler is given all the marching orders, for lack of a better term. Also, by the way, I would like to say, based on the portraits that they have of all of these leaders of Germany in World War II, fugly men. They are fuck ugly. I'm not sorry about the swear.
Yeah, and he orders Peter to kill who he considers his father, Ernst. Yeah, Ernst Gans.
And as soon as this is the moment, and I was like, well, Peter's gonna die. He better die. He has to die. This is your fatal flaw. This is Shakespearean, which I think elevates the entire episode. This is like Richard III shit.
Well, and Serling had more. He wanted there to be more because he actually filmed more stuff, but too much footage had been filmed, and he wanted to make like maybe a TV movie, but CBS, I guess, was against it, so it never happened. Oh, for theater release, not a TV movie. Wow.
Oh, wow.
He was going big. I hate to see valuable footage cut away and made irreplaceable. He requested Hirschman to figure out how much extra the cost would be to double cut and to add the scoring. But since CBS contract wouldn't grant him the opportunity, the option was dropped. So this is from the James Martin Jr. book, Unlocking the Door to a Television Classic.
But that's also that's something that like before the Twilight Zone, Rod Serling was writing all of these social commentaries and poignant works, and they were getting rejected. And it wasn't until he came up with the Twilight Zone and saying, this isn't necessarily where we live, but it is at an intersection of reality. And this is how he got that freedom. And so I do appreciate that this is, you know, I don't want to say personification, the representation. And I like the idea. Isn't there a moment in this? And it's like, who are you talking to, Pete?
Yeah, basically we see him as Adolf, but he's the personification of hate itself manifesting through Peter.
And it's like, how do I gain power? How do I do this? How do I make it so that I'm important? And what do I have to do? This is so diminutive, and I apologize for being flippant with it, but I think it is relevant, is that it's almost like a Norman Osborn Green Goblin kind of sitch. It would have been great if Dennis Hopper had played Hitler himself. And then it's just like, I am you. It's like remember in Star Trek 5, where Cyborg shows up, and it's like, maybe this is the face that you recognize the most. And that would have been so fucking good. Sorry about
Actually, that could work. Okay. I wouldn't have been upset with that, because during the episode, he did say, I am you. But this is just
sometimes I have ideas and they work.
This is one of the few, before you talk about lies, this is one of the few episodes that excludes the Twilight Zone in the closing narration. So just spell long live Walter Jameson. On Thursday we leave from home and the four of us are dying. And please tell us about Eliza.
Well, she since you mentioned Star Trek 5, that is probably her favorite, believe it or not, of the Star Trek movies, because
it's up there for me too.
All the philosophical implications and everything.
I need my pen.
She's got that memorized down pat. Have you guys ever done a weekend on that one?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I am an advocate. I really like Star Trek 5. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I like some of it. I love the stuff in Yosemite.
I like to flip the bird at people who say that it's a dream.
Some of it's got to be a dream. They're flying up this turbo.
You and your stupid turbo lift.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily,
not in front of the Klingons.
Merrily, life is but a dream.
Good stuff in Star Trek 5. I'm not saying
I'm well versed in the classics. Really? Then why don't you know row your boat? Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry. No, I love it. I very much like Star Trek 5.
The meaning of the words.
What does God need with a starship?
Mm-hmm. The one that everyone should be asking.
So unfortunately, our favorite hero of the episode is not long for the episode. He's Peter saying, you didn't listen to me. You wouldn't pay attention. And Ernst says that he does listen. In fact, to the contrary.
You wouldn't pay any attention to me.
On the contrary, I listened to you all that I could stand.
And then Peter says, we're unstoppable now.
An old man stopped you tonight with a few words. He stopped you with a truth.
And Peter's got a gun, but Gans isn't afraid of him. Okay. And Ernst says, where is it? I'm looking for...
I know you. From a ravaged little boy wanting love to a torn man craving respect.
And he's not afraid. He's not afraid of Peter at all. And Peter says he's steel now and he doesn't have any compassion, and so he's dropping his compassion, as he's there's no sentimentality. He doesn't remember his love for someone he thinks is his dad, and that's where he's let the evil fully overtake him.
Yeah.
I know you. From a ravaged little boy wanting love to a torn man craving respect.
Yeah, definitely.
You can never kill an idea with a bullet, Peter. Never.
And I feel like that's somebody's quote from somewhere else, but I don't know where it comes from.
Let me do a little search.
It sounds familiar.
Ernst, I'm made of steel. No sentiment, no softness. Just purpose and will.
And so he does kill him.
Yes, Peter. You have steel, but you have no heart.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea, giving a neo-Nazi a Holocaust survivor dad.
Yeah, well, that's where the true strength comes from, is having compassion and acceptance and standing with that despite, just all these pangs of competition and survival that are in our programming, so to speak.
Yeah. And he's the ultimate portrayal of sympathy, because I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness. Supposedly this quote was
have any sympathy for Peter at all.
The most common attribution of the quote you mentioned is from Medgar Evers, a field secretary for the NAACP.
Oh, wow.
No, he says you can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea. Okay, so slight shift, but
same idea. Yeah, I get it. And Serling just, modified it a bit. It's a good quote. I knew it seemed to.
But this would have been Mississippi in the 1950s, civil rights movement, into the early 1960s. So it certainly would have been one moving around at the time.
Yeah, well, at least there's a good quote in there, because this is so dark. And now Peter goes back to Ghost Hitler, and his actions have been praised and reinforced, and he's telling them they're gonna go off and do amazing things, and that Peter only got rid of a growth that was on his flesh that had to be removed. That was not even, so he doesn't even consider that Ernst was an actual human being. So the dehumanization of people is definitely one of the worst aspects of all of this.
Oh, and this would have been right at the time, because Medgar Evers was assassinated in his own driveway in 1963. And after that, his wife, Merle Evers, basically helped spread the quote around, because his ideas would outlive him.
Oh, that's terrible. Goodness.
I'm made out of steel. You understand that I'm made out of steel?
So that's Peter. He's gone. And he'll be forgotten, as the ghost is going away to go find somebody else to be his mouthpiece again. So he's gonna strike again somewhere else. And we've got the closing narration coming soon. I don't know. Scotty said he wanted to read both, but I don't know if he's here, because he's been quiet, and he's usually not quiet.
I just had a thought that perhaps, I'm sure Serling wasn't going this way, but I had a feeling that maybe one take on this could be that this spirit was invoked because of what this guy had to do, what Peter had to do in completing his fall to the dark side would be, to kill his father figure, the one sign of light in his life. And perhaps this is a manifested spirit just to get him beyond that point. And then, of course, he's dropped and dumped.
Right, because he got caught.
Mm-hmm.
He's caught by the police, is implicated in the murder of Nick, and that's how he runs away and he gets shot, and that's how we get to that end scene I forgot to mention. And yeah, he just he's not useful to Shadow Ghost Hitler anymore, so
That's
he goes
the
away.
thing with evil. It will always turn on you when you're no longer useful.
Yep. And that's let's see what's going on in the chat. I've not mentioned a lot of things here. That's where Liza showed up. But won't most people post World War II agree with that note? Yeah, exactly, Phantom Outsider. That's part of the disbelief of the episode, but I think it's just a general warning that this kind of evil can manifest from hatred if you're not careful, and it may not necessarily be an exact copy of Hitler, but it'll be something more insidious that you don't notice is causing violence towards
there
others.
were hate groups, in existence at that time. And, the whole idea is to make sure that people don't feel too comfortable that, they're just fringe. And
did Indiana Jones show up and punch this guy yet?
What?
Oh, yeah, he did. He did. I totally forgot, Scotty. Thanks for reminding me. I got that right here.
Kill him! I can't kill him! Kill him any way you can!
Hey!
Yeah, so one of the police officers that catches Peter was that guy. What's his name, Scotty? This is your job.
Bill Zuckert, who played Johnny
Bill
Bean
Zuckert.
in Spectre of the Gun.
Yeah, well spotted, by the way. It's wonderful.
I was so
Appreciate it.
excited. I lost my chair at that moment. I was just like, oh, it's that guy.
Okay, so please release us from this episode, Scotty. R37. I'm putting the closing narration in the chat.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, here we go. Where will he go next, this phantom from another time, this resurrected ghost of a previous nightmare? Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, Florida, Vincennes, Indiana, Syracuse, New York, any place, every place where there's hate, where there's prejudice, where there's bigotry. He's alive. He's alive so long as these evils exist. Remember that when he comes to your town. Remember it when you hear his voice speaking out through others. Remember it when you hear a name called a minority attacked. Any blind, unreasoning assault on a people or any human being. He's alive because through these things, we keep him alive.
Well, you got to be careful. It's not just when minorities get attacked.
That's why he says, that's why I like that Serling says, or any human being.
Okay.
So he does cover himself there.
Because that whole terminology from minority, as we've seen in the episode, can change and be adapted.
Well, but
right.
Because they were claiming to be the minority in that,
Well, and it is an accusation against anyone who's going to make you feel smaller. And if you have no ideas that are worth fighting for, then you have villains or perceived villains worth putting down. Like, it's, without getting too much into it, the capability of people to be bad is, sadly, it's easy. What?
Yep.
Not to go back to the whole, Jedi versus Sith. It's like Yoda says. It's like the dark side is not stronger. It's easier. It's more
The
seductive.
Milgram experiment.
Oh yeah, give
Where
someone, yeah.
basically, if someone in authority is telling you, no, you need to shock that person on the other side, and they're in authority telling you to do it, you're like, okay, I'll do it, against your own better judgment.
Yeah.
Just following authority, or what seems to be, a doctor or something and everything. And it's like, wait a minute.
Oh, man, those psychology experiments were very morally dubious to begin with, too. But
Yeah.
they do reveal a lot about humanity.
Oh yeah. And so it does give you some insight on how things can happen. And I've seen nothing like this, obviously, during my lifetime with, but it's always been other countries, but still throughout the world, we've seen a lot of pain and suffering and stuff, and people going along with it and instigating it to others they don't know, based on what the authority tells them to do. And that's the divide and conquer strategy. Keep people
But
fighting
that's
with
also,
each other so we can control them.
but that's also, like, not to jump from Twilight Zone to Star Trek, but like, I do really appreciate the exploration of ideas, the infinite diversity in infinite combinations,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
learning and exploring. And once you start vilifying and pointing at an individual or a group of people and saying, there is what's wrong, and I am correct, follow me, I am correct, we are in this because we're all correct, and it's them. Whenever you start saying them,
Yeah, it's
then
tough.
you get in trouble.
That's what
Well,
Star Trek teaches us, is to
but also focus
keep
on
an open mind.
ideas. Like here, we're talking about them in this group, but it's because of their ideas, and we're
Yeah.
and they're expressing their ideas. We're not putting words in their mouths. It's
Right.
right there in the episode to see. So you definitely need to make some sort of judgments in life and to
Right.
make decisions as to what you align yourself with, but it allow people the freedom to be individuals. And it's more of, the ideas that people have. If they cause harm, then it's problematic,
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's a quote, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And
Yeah.
Old Man Bird says, check out the faithful Jill fans watching every review. I applaud you. What a lot of work and dedication. Yeah, that was a tough one, Old Man Bird. That is a tough, that I knew it was going to be a tough review. It's not that I didn't appreciate the meaningfulness and the importance of the episode, but
Yeah.
man, was that not fun?
That was
But we
not
made it.
fun.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Even with the Koopa Troopa and the kitty cat and Mark Hamill idiotically yelling Nazi.
What?
Wait.
He was in
It's
it?
still no, but Gotti brought him into the conversation.
You're not my supervisor!
It was Mark
Oh, sorry,
Hamill's
wrong
first
clip.
appearance.
Wrong clip.
That's funny. I don't know where I was going with any of that actually at this point. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Mark Hamill's
He's-
first appearance on the Twilight Zone.
Nazi!
There he is. He found him.
But it's just, I think heebie-jeebies, but I think an incredible sort of assessment of evil and where the ideas can come from and how they can infect people who are disillusioned, who are looking for some reason to justify their own, I don't know, misguided sense of victimhood. It's terrifying because a lot of the time it's overcoming your own inadequacies that leads people to just be assholes. And in this situation, in fact, I'm glad that the end of the narration doesn't say in the Twilight Zone, because it is kind of not the Twilight Zone.
Right.
It is something that is prevalent. It is something that occurs in the real world. But I do really appreciate the I don't know, exploration of what happens when hate takes root.
That's what Gavin was saying. It's real when he was saying that.
And
sadly,
people aren't always salvageable depending on what point in their life they're at. I guess Peter was no longer salvageable because definitely Ernst tried early on too.
But that's
he paid
also,
for it too.
That's the thing that is the most devastating about it, is that the people who will walk right up to the precipice to try and save or salvage or rescue or redeem you, sometimes those are the people who are going to they're gonna F you over.
Although
But somebody in the chat is
Mark Hamill did it.
But
yeah.
Someone in the chat has asked for this.
But if he's the devil, how do you keep him locked up?
With the staff of truth, the one barrier he cannot pass.
Yeah, but you hope. You can always hope.
Oh, the devil can lie, can pretend some things are true.
Yeah. But using truth as a weapon is pretty powerful.
Yep.
The stick of truth.
Finding it sometimes can be rough, though. Just keep seeking it.
Like I said, good is hard.
Oh, hey, it's Canadian Spider-Man.
Hey, Spidey. Good morning.
And R.M. Briggs. Whoa, it is so good to see you. Hail.
What up?
She says. So great to see you, R.M. Briggs. I hope you're having a good day.
Hail Fanty.
This was a rather difficult episode to get through, so I'm glad that we made it.
Yes.
And
never again.
Yeah, never again. Don't let that happen again.
Yeah, never
Classic
again.
military strategy. Surprise attack.
It'll be a slaughter.
That's the spirit.
Oh,
much better movie. I mean, not that this is a bad episode. It's just a difficult one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, man.
That's okay. Canadian Spider-Man misses R.M. Briggs singing the Steve song.
These are the Steves we know. These are the Steves we know. Steve Jahinski, I don't know him well.
Hello, Penny. It's good to see you, Penny, as we're getting close to the end of this stream.
I haven't seen Penny in a while. It's good to see you, Pen.
Yeah, it is good to see you, Penny. Yeah. Hope everything is well with the grandchildren.
I was trying to make that reference there to the phrase the penny has dropped, but and then when it came out, I'm like, oh man, it sounds like I'm saying, I'm glad you haven't died yet. Oh, I don't even know who you are.
Thanks for sharing your overthinking with all of us.
Yes.
I liked him better before he died.
Who's the best? Better than all the rest.
Fuck. Yeah. So over 30K. Oh, wow. Yeah, Phantom Outsider is sharing more human suffering with us. Thank you, Phantom Outsider. You're always a welcome knowledge.
Thank you.
No wonder he's an outsider.
Well, he knows his history. He knows his history, and he doesn't want us to forget it.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Jumping without a parachute? Kinda dangerous.
Sometimes I forget what clips I have. That's an amazing one. Hello, Gorilla. And
hey, Gorilla.
What's up, Doc?
Just anyway, yeah.
I'm just playing
because now that we've explored the physical manifestation of evil, we've got to crawl out of that and try to find our way back to the light.
Well, that's the thing. Was it a physical manifestation of evil? I guess he said that he's been around, a long, long time. So it's just he just took on a certain personage.
Allow
I
me
forgot
to
the part
introduce
where
myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
I forgot to mention the part where Peter says he felt immortal after killing his father figure, and his and Hitler says we are immortal, and so yeah, it just awful. But anyway, before we go though, we have to read the preview for next week's story. The talented author Richard Matheson pays a return visit to the Twilight Zone with the story called Mute. It provides an exceptional challenge to the acting talents of Barbara Baxley, Frank Overton, and an unusual 12-year-old by the name of Anne Gillian. And so, yeah, so we'll
Name
check
sounds
that out next
familiar.
week.
Not to be confused with Gillian Anderson.
Right. Well,
not
her
to be
Gillian,
confused with
she's-
antiderivative Jillian.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my full name is Jillian. So there you go.
Is that what Jill is short for? Well, I didn't
yes.
know.
Mhm.
It
With the
wasn't
J.
Jillabopoulos.
Not like a G with like Gillian Anderson.
Hip hopopotamus.
Yep. For all we know, he was Jack the Ripper from Wolf in the Fold, but that would make him more alien.
Red Jack.
Evil human. Oh, yeah, that would have been interesting. But I think Serling really wanted to go the realistic route for his own purposes of of hoping to not have to encounter that evil again. And that was just his.
Well, it had to be even before that. Is one of the things I said. It's like with all these ancient leaders and stuff in the ancient world and empires and stuff, there had to be one before him. So there had to be people throughout history where this evil continues to repeat itself, and then infect others. Because really, the saddest part was how much of an influence and how he was able to get so much power and to get so many people willing to go along with it. And I understand once it takes hold, it's scary to stand up against everything with your own life on the line. That's really tough. But
you have to be, well, like Scotty said, it's difficult to be good in terms of when your life is on the line. It is. And you've got to be strong enough to say no, or if nobody's saying no, then it's just going to happen.
Well, and it's easier to go along with the group than it is to be, to stand alone.
To be an individual.
Saying no to what everybody else is going along with is tough. It's hard, and you don't always win.
Yeah, and like Gans was saying, most people have the capacity for good, the capacity to have the ability to know what's right and know what's wrong, and to follow through with that, and to feel shame when you're being dishonorable.
Or at least be close. You may not be completely right on everything, but
you just have to. Yeah, you have to have the ability to say, I don't know. You have to have the ability to say, I'm sorry. You have to have the ability to say, let me help. And once you start making assertions, if you know that you're correct, in spite of everything that is being told to you, then maybe you should take a step back, have a bath, touch grass, all that jazz.
Well, no, there's been times where, the minority opinion in circumstances has been right compared to the majority opinions. That's not.
Well, not to get sanctimonious, but don't forget Christianity started with one guy.
Yeah.
Christ. So he was the minority.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we could look at other things like, in the founding of the United States, the those who wanted to overturn slavery were in the minority.
Well,
But
yeah.
I guess
Thank you,
actually the true
England.
minority were people that just didn't have an opinion, or tried to stay out of it.
And it,
But
and
still,
in
that's
that
not good either.
instance, it was very important for the abolitionists to get their word out to
Yeah, exactly.
express to people why it was important.
No, they did exist. A lot of today they try to erase that abolitionists were there, but no, there were founding fathers that were abolitionists. I'm just saying that.
Well, even the suffrage.
Just the point that people with the minority opinion were right then.
And but going back to the marketplace of ideas, the good ideas rise to the top.
Mm-hmm. Over time.
Well, speaking of good ideas, Liza says the main character in this Twilight Zone needed therapy to heal from his childhood, but shadow work takes a lot of effort. It's much easier to turn to someone who will just give you power and affirm you. And yeah, imagine how different the story would be if Peter
Ernst
had gotten
tried
therapy
to
when he
provide
was a kid.
therapy, but we don't know the whole life history because it is a story from Serling, and he provides us with what he could provide us. But we would assume that basically, sometimes it's not just therapy; it's not just somebody else trying to teach you and to stir you off the dark course that you're on. It's also your own volition. You need to make the changes yourself.
You have to want to change.
Mm-hmm.
Be the change.
And yeah, and sometimes adversity, even like from the people that you love, that is the best part. You don't need affirmation all the time. You're a good boy. You're a good girl. You're doing everything right. You're doing fine. You're doing great. Whatever you're doing is the best thing that you've chosen for yourself. And then it's like, well, I'm justified. I've been given a guardian who says that I'm doing everything properly. So I'm just going to keep doing the bullshit that I'm doing. And that can lead to a negative place as well. Even if you do reaffirm, even if you do support, the thing is that sometimes being told no is the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think I haven't sworn so much? Why do you think I haven't used the Mark Hamill Nazi clip so much? Is because I have a friend who says, Scott, no.
A little.
Yeah, discretion is good. And I'm surprised all the time when you implement it and editorialize yourself.
And you're also horrified when I don't.
Yes. But you have grown. You have grown, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And Phantom Outsider says, being bad is easier. Being evil, you don't need to follow the rules because you're above them.
Well, what is it from Spaceballs when Dark Helmet says, evil will always triumph over good because good is dumb.
Yeah. Or this. Where is it? Here it is.
It was a crime. I did it anyway.
You are my friend. I love you so much. Yeah, I'm a criminal. I knew it was wrong. I did it anyway.
Canadian Spider-Man says, thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for supporting Jill and this channel. Please consider subscribing if you like what you see. Yes, please. Yeah, I would like that.
Joining us on Totalitarian Tuesday.
Yeah, if people enjoyed the conversation, even though it's a difficult subject to manifest because it is the worst of us, we can always remember to be the best that we can be as individuals and go towards make better decisions than have been made in this episode. John Hamilton of the play Hamilton wanted to get rid of the native,
Eliminate the natives and establish an autocracy with a ruling class. Yeah, well,
and that's one reason why it was good Hamilton never actually became president.
Well,
see, I'm a big Andrew Jackson fan, and that guy was not good.
No, wasn't good. He wasn't good to the natives either.
No, he was not. The Trail of
Old Hickory, they called him, because he caned a lot of people with hickory sticks.
Yeah, now there are those talking about the international bankers. John Hamilton basically started the first central bank.
Hey, hello to Eris 218.
Hey, Eris.
And he is his channel.
Hello. And so, just as a gargle, don't forget, we are going to conclude. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share. If you want to, you should become a member of the channel because it does help with StreamYard subscriptions and whatever. There's a Discord, do all the things, tell your mom. And then also, I'm going to be on the Phantasmagorium this Thursday if everything goes according to plan, because I'm going to be seeing I think it's the directorial debut of Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I'm going to be seeing The Bride, where Christian Bale is the Frankenstein's monster, and Jessie Buckley is going to be the bride. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And then we're going to be talking about that on Thursday night if I make it home in time. And then Friday, we're going to be doing the second half of The Year of Hell, which is super jazzy. Can't wait for that.
How many
after this
episodes
episode,
was
I'm actually
that?
excited. It was 2. It was just 2. They wanted a whole
I know, but it
season
felt
of it.
like so much more.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I thought I could get it. I thought I could knock it out in one show. It didn't work out.
Yeah, no, it took a long time because we were having such a blast, much like today when we were talking about where's the clip?
But
wouldn't so much say that I had a blast exploring it, but it is important.
Which was
it was
harder,
important to explore
this episode or the?
This is bad country.
This was harder. This was harder. Year of Hell, you can just make fun of it, but this is.
But it was.
And then, as always, I do advocate, and if you haven't yet, you should totally subscribe to Cinema Gulp. So Phantasmagorium, Cinema Gulp, and me. Join me on Twitter where I tweet things.
So when you said you might talk about the movie on Thursday, would that be on the Phantasmagorium or on Cinema Gulp?
That'll be on the Phantasmagorium. Yeah, no, there's Kat does a wonderful show called From the Pile, and that is where we all hang out and make fun of each other for not seeing movies that we should have not seeing. Movies that we should have. Okay, come on,
okay,
that was easy.
Okay, we're closing the book on the.
Yeah, let's go.
Bad German people and opening them up to the cool things that Wayfarer Project is doing on his channel.
Well, on Friday, because I was ill last week, we're going to have to do this week, the second part of Genesis. The Genesis album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. We're talking
Genesis?
about the story. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen.
Genesis is forbidden.
Planet forbidden. Oh, yeah. Well,
sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. No, this is Pedro, Phil, Mike Rutherford, and the rest of the band. Yeah, but it's an intriguing story. Kind of confusing, but intriguing story outlined in that album. Double album, 4 sides, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So that's Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Wayfarer Project. And Sunday, we're continuing on to Season 2, Episode 2 of Babylon 5. Revelations, it's called. And this is where we're learning more about the new captain, John Sheridan.
Ooh.
And we're also starting to see an unveiling of the evil that is coming gradually.
Is that
little
Tron?
by little. Yes, he did a little while as Tron, yeah. And Alan, the user behind Tron.
That's amazing. I haven't watched Babylon 5, but I've heard good things. The only thing I don't really like about that show is that it's just so 90s CGI.
Well, you got to try it out anyway.
I do, because the acting and the
story.
characterization is much more important than the special effects.
I don't know.
as
The
we all
Twilight
know.
Zone thing, it's all like 60s black and white.
Yeah, exactly. People don't like black
Go
and
for it
white.
anyway.
And so, yeah,
No,
90s
just go for it
CGI is
anyway.
the same sort of category.
It's better
The
than
Twilight
some of the
Zone.
CGI now. Some of
I
it
don't
now
know.
what?
it's just like
My
wait a
favorite thing
minute,
in the
this is
world
getting
is
cartoonish.
Nicolas Cage as Superman in the Flash movie. That's my favorite ever.
It's like, is this
I'm
a
being
joke?
facetious.
Good writing makes up for the CGI, Scotty. I believe it.
Yeah.
I still need to
J.
go back
Michael
to that.
Straczynski is
I think
an
I have to start
amazing
over.
sci-fi writer.
I think I have to start over all over
Yeah.
again because I saw season
But
1, but I
the
don't remember
evil
it.
is coming. The shadows are coming. So
The Shadow knows.
this is when it really kicks off. And we're having a great time. Dutch Gradient has joined us, and every week it's a hangout. We go on to all sorts of things, all sorts of side topics come up because we're actually feeling kind of like, an extended family now. We're all hanging out, having a good time.
Well, and also, if everybody, I know that there are 25 people checking us out, and if you are on YouTube or on X, hit the thumbs up, hit the likes,
Yeah.
if you would be so kind. I hate to ask you to, move your mouse, but just,
everybody on YouTube asks it, I know, but there's reasons why, because if we don't, a few people forget, and it can make a big difference.
True.
Don't forget
yeah,
to
there,
dislike and
there are
unsubscribe.
80. Exactly. There are 80% of people who have been watching my channel are new, and I don't think they've subscribed. So that would be nice if a couple of you guys did. But if you are subscribed and you happen to be a member, tune in tomorrow Wednesday morning, and we're going to have a membership stream as we do every month.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I have to buy beer.
Well,
it's morning.
Yeah. Well, and now I do 2 membership.
You don't know my life.
Streams a month. So if
you're
you don't,
Egyptian.
You're not my supervisor.
An Egyptian.
Okay,
the
Scotty,
ancient Egyptians had beer for breakfast.
Yeah, we're muting.
Okay,
me now.
so we do 2 membership streams a month. Tomorrow morning on Wednesday morning, and also Tuesday night is a bit more of a public membership stream where everybody can come and watch, and it's for members to be in the panel, but
Is that
everybody
tonight?
who's a subscriber can be in the chat. That's next Tuesday.
Okay, thank heavens.
Yeah, that's next
See
Tuesday.
our members.
Mhm. Yeah, and it'll be fun. And
We're going to talk about The Empire
that's
Strikes
exciting.
Back.
Really? I don't even
I don't
know.
know. I'm just
haven't-
making shit
Why
up.
not?
Yeah, we could. I mean, it could be
Why
a
the hell
subtopic.
not?
I don't ever make membership streams movie reviews. And thank you, Phantom Outsider, for all of your interest in history and sharing all of that here. I do especially enjoy American history. And so let's all head out now and have a good rest of our Tuesday. Have
Cheers.
a happy
Time of
March.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
Game over, man. It's game over.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, you know, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
We don't have to be mean. Because, remember, no matter where you go, there you are.